Once upon a time, there was a green and beautiful village. Under the umbrella of lush, lovely trees, there was a carpet of grass. Crops stood proud in the fields, buds bloomed and birds sang. From up in the mountains, soft and tinkling waters danced and ran down to the fields as rivers that never dried. The village had plenty of fruits and vegetables, and in this cradle of Mother Nature, happy and hale and hearty were her people. The little green village was full of peace and prosperity. But gradually people became lazy, well-fed and contented. They lost the initiative to hard work. The families grew larger and many more mouths had to be fed. Cattle and goat population also increased. The valuable milking cattle could not get good feed and were let loose to graze in the fields. These animals trampled and turned plants and ate up all grass, leaving the fields barren. People kept cutting the trees for fuelwood, but none bothered to replant trees. Soon the forest started vanishing. Women started burning dried dung to cook, which was earlier used as manure. The sun grew hotter in the absence of greenery. Seasons changed. Dark clouds covered the sky. Thunder roared. Fell the raindrops, but there was no grass to absorb the drops. Heavy rains washed away the fertile soil from the fields, far away into the rivers and tanks, with so much slit in their basins. The water went helter-skelter and submerged nearby villages. After the rains, farmers had to sow new crops, but there was hardly any water for irrigation in the silted tanks. There was no fertile soil left in the fields, so the food production was reduced. Without trees, there was frequent failures of rains, hot winds blazed, Mother Nature's face bore wrinkles and cracks. Wells dried, food grains, stocks exhausted, people started starving. Slowly, people with heavy hearts picked up their meager belongings and started leaving this village in search of food and water. Leaving behind their homes and animals, and tired feet walked miles and miles. The old died on the way, the young dragged behind, the infants clung on their mothers, the dead and the dying were left to the vultures. They moved on through heat and dust. The search of green pastures continued. The initial thousands were reduced to only hundreds. Exhausted, starved, thirsty, they marched on in search of food and water. One hot evening, someone spotted a green patch far away. Was it a mirage or a miracle? It suddenly was a ray of hope. All started walking fast. As they moved on, the greenery became clearly visible. They saw orchards, farms, and huge lake. They entered the village and rushed to the lake, drank plenty of cool water and relaxed under the trees. Around them were green fields. Across the slopes were well laid out bunds to prevent soil from running off with rainwater. On the fields were strips of trees planted as windbreaks. No cattle roamed stray. They were tied in sheds and fed with plenty of forage. Abundant fish danced in the lake. Giant trees had surrounded in the village. There were several community biogas plants, which provided gas for cooking and lighting to every house. The biogas slurry was used as a manure to increase crop yield. People had not to cut trees or burn dung for cooking. Farmers working in the surrounding fields rushed to see the strangers. Among them was an elderly man, the leader of the village. The people from the first village narrated their sad story. Nature did not bless us with rain. We are ruined. God has no mercy on us. Each had his own complaint. The leader heard their dreadful tales and scarcity with patience and sympathy. He assured them hospitality for a few days. But the leader was disturbed and restless. He lay awake at night, deep in thoughts, wondering why had nature been so cruel to them. Later the leader fell asleep. He had a dream. He saw bright spot moving closer, followed by a soft and gentle voice. Leader, my son, I am Mother Nature. I have come to greet you with my wealth, earth, water, vegetation, sun, cow and air. Mother Nature continued. Leader, your people have preserved my fertile cover, which has enabled me to absorb more rains and produce more food and fodder and fuel. Your care for trees in the forest help the rivers to flow the year round and irrigate the crops. You have made best use of solar energy to grow crops and trees. Your trees have purified the polluted air. Without trees, there would have been no oxygen and no life on this earth. Your people have carefully protected me. People of the first village left me sick and helpless. They are your unfortunate brothers and sisters who need your guidance. Leader suddenly woke up. It was morning. The wise old leader got ready and went to meet the visitors. Leader said, Friends, we were worried when you arrived, but not anymore. Mother Nature came in my dream with a message for you. Everyone looked up the leader anxiously. He continued, Nature is our mother. She nurtures us with her natural resources. It is our duty to protect her just the way we take care of our old parents. Floods, droughts and famines come only when she is neglected. All is not lost yet. You are welcome to join us. Let us plant more trees, build more tanks, produce more food. This is the only way to heal the wounded and sick mother and get her blessings once again. Nature is our mother. She nurtures us with her natural resources. It is our duty to protect just the way we take care of our old parents. Floods, droughts and famines come only when she is neglected. All is not lost yet. You are welcome to join us. Let us plant more trees, build more tanks, produce more food. This is the only way to heal the wounded and sick mother and get her blessings once again. Finally, leaders' inspiring words worked like a miracle. They started working hard, hand in hand, to protect Mother Nature. It was the beginning of another glorious era, and they lived happily ever after.